Fast, I get us in Kenshin.
Yes, sir. Here we got Rurouni Kenshin episode 5, and then another one. Um, so Kenshin and Sanosuke fight rages on, and they're learning more about each other and kind of what they stand for. And while this is going on, we learn a ton about Sanosuke's past with the Imperials. So we at the beginning of the episode, we jump right back into the fight between Kenshin, between these two. And Kenshin actually asks, I'll call him Zanza while I can. He asks Zanza to he says like, this is the time for you to sheath your sword. And Zanza's like, bro, what are you talking about? Like this big ass sword doesn't have a sheath. You're dumb as fuck.
You know, it gets wrapped up in some rags or something. Imagine if you're just sitting there after you just see him doing this with like a roll of freaking rags. I would have cried.
Dude like beats her ass and then starts rolling it up. But yeah, Kenshin, like they get the box in a little bit, and Kenshin's like really on his ass. But he's telling him, he's like, you can only swing two ways with that long sword. It's either side to side or like down. Like that's all you got. And Zanza's, kind of starting to realize that there's like a major gap between himself and Kenshin. Every time he moves, tries to do something, Kenshin, hits him with the back of his sword, like he does everyone, and he's just getting beat up. But he's tanking these hits. Very impressive at the same time. But then after they kind of get into that, and Zanza gets knocked down on his back, we of course we got to get the flashback. Gotta get the flashback. So we go back a decade to Zanza's childhood, for when he was 9. And he's marching alongside the Seiko army, which is like the vanguard of the Imperial Army. And it was actually led by Captain Zozo Sagara. And that was someone that Zanza actually looked up to a ton. So what they're doing, I think like some people mentioned as they were marching is like, what are they doing so far north? And they're actually telling people that, if you switch to the Imperial side, your taxes will be half, which I don't know about you, Tyler. I would be ecstatic about. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Well, I would, but with everything like that, if it's too good to be true, it probably is too good to be true. You know what I mean? And I had that in my head. I
Facts.
was like, these people going around saying this shit, and I'm like, bro, these people believe in them. But I mean, I guess in their eyes, like it's they're clinging on to false hope. At that point, like what if it actually really does happen? Then my life will be so much better. But I was like, this is gonna go downhill so fast.
Yeah, it was so unfortunate because, like, I mean, in what world can like you have taxes, on citizens? It'll have your budget all fucked up. And they kind of like duck this into like the explanation of like the timeline in the flashback, but they made sure to mention that it happened after the battle where Kenshin disappeared during the war. Which I thought was a good detail because he cannot be involved in this in any way because this was some backstabbing bullshit. So I thought it was a good, very small detail, but very important. And like we actually learned that Zanza actually respected Sozo Sagara so much that he wanted like his surname to be his first name. And I mean that just kind of like they have like, maybe 5 to 10 minutes to like make you understand the relationship and like how much respect that Sansa has for Sagara, who's the captain of this army. What's up?
Your surname is your last name. You're just thinking that because in Japanese it's last name first name, right?
No, but his first name is Sagara. It's not flipped in the anime. I'm pretty sure it's Sagara. It would be Sagara Sozo.
So the subtitles have been throwing me off because they've been flipping it based on the names. So like they'll say like Kenshin Himura, but in the subtitles they say Himura Kenshin.
Sagara is his first name. Sozo is his last name, Western style. Yeah. Okay. Sozo is his family name.
Huh. Okay. Sorry, I must have missed that.
You're all good. I had to do some googling myself before I wrote the notes on this one.
Dude, the fact that they keep flipping the names in the subtitles is just
It's
bugging the
fucked
shit
up.
out of me.
Yeah,
Like,
it's fucked up.
just at least write what they're saying. Like, I understand. I don't understand 3/4 of it, but I understand the names, man.
Yeah, help me out. Yeah, it does
Maybe
get very confusing.
maybe it's due to the fact that they always have to go after like Dad it is, like Kenshin's talking,
Oro?
So maybe that just throws them off. Maybe they got that backwards too.
Y'all don't Oro me this
No, it's just,
episode,
it's just,
please.
it's just, it's
Oro?
just, it's just poor subtitling. That's all it is. They're trying to
Yeah.
make it sound like it did. Because when you watch this show dubbed back in the day, like on Toonami,
hmm
they would say the name in the westernized order.
Okay.
But like they're
Right.
doing that in the subtitles, but clearly it's not what you're hearing. So it's throwing me off a little bit,
Oh, okay. I get that. I completely get that. But yeah, like this portion of like the backstory is like pretty much to like show us like that Sagara was like fighting for the Meiji Revolution and wasn't and wasn't imperialist, and like he was kind of fighting to make everybody's lives better, and he thought he was doing a good thing. He said, you know, it our hard work is going to determine how long this revolution takes. It could be 1 year to 10 years, but that's up to us. Like we can do a lot to do that. So that's kind of just to show how good of a guy he was, the captain. And then they're really how close the relationship was. So after a little bit, few minutes, we like learn that the imperialists had to go back against their word and say, hey, we can no longer half the taxes, but they can't say it was them. They can't promise something and take it back during a war.
Yeah.
They're gonna put it on the Seiko army, which I thought was so fucked up, bro. And like as soon as like Tyler, you said, as soon as you like heard this, you knew something was up.
Yeah, I mean, there's no way, bro. Like it's just hard to believe that a government is gonna keep their words on something that big. They're gonna find some way out of it. So
Exactly.
I mean, we see it in the US, you see it everywhere, dude. It's
yeah.
all that shit still. It's broken promises. Nothing ever happens.
Mm-hmm. That's the way she goes.
It's a damn shame.
Yep. Yep.
That burn shame, bro.
But yeah, I guess Sakura knew what he was like walking into. Like he said, they were gonna make like a last stand at some fortress. But he tells Zanza and Katsuhiro to stay behind and keep watch, quote unquote. And then shortly after, we see, Zanza kind of like waiting around on some steps, and he actually goes into town and he sees Sakura's head on a post. And that shit was so sad. And people were calling them criminals, how they were spreading lies. He actually got them for the crime of falsehoods. Complete bullshit. But yeah, so that's why Sansa hates imperialists.
Yeah, it's also why he wears bat on his back too, which like that's such a good backstory for him though. Like it's so fitting for his character.
It really
Like
is.
he's
Man.
actually a good guy. And the fact that he says multiple times throughout this that the only reason he fights is to forget. And that just makes you
Yes.
feel for a homie.
Yeah, even 10 years later, he's hurt. He's still relishing on it. And like he was 9 years old when this happened. That's a crazy awakening to the world and how it works. Very, very sad. And you
So
could tell.
I was gonna say, so is he gonna be like n-
A main supporting character.
ignore me if this is like a big spoiler or whatever for the people.
Go
But
ahead.
is he gonna be like a main character going forward?
Yeah. Yeah, he's
Okay.
all over
Yeah,
the intro,
it's
dude.
not.
Okay.
Yeah, it's no secret.
Okay.
Also, it's really tough to spoil a story that got animated in 1994. So like, you're good, man. Don't worry about it.
Yeah. Well, I just know if they went through the trouble of like doing a backstory that was this, decent,
hmm
I figured that he was going to be a plot point going forward, but the way like the episode ended and stuff, it seemed like he wasn't going to be. You know what I mean? So it was kind of confusing.
Gotcha.
So
Understood. Yeah, because he did say like he was going to follow Kenshin around, but he didn't really like say in like what capacity, right?
yeah.
So I completely understand that. So once we get this little flashback and Zanza is remembering his past, he gets back up and Kenshin notes that he has like a lot more vitality, a lot more than even what he started with. And Sananosuke slash Sanzo is saying, he's like, I can't lose to an imperialist. I have to beat the strongest imperialist, which is you. And he's like, I have to do this for the Seiko army. And I forgot this little detail, but it makes sense. Kenshin is aware what happened to the Seiko army, and probably starts to understand his anger and starts to like kind of feel for him a little bit. So they're bridging that gap between each other, which is important as he's going to become a supporting character. But shortly after, one of the Himura brothers pulls a secondary blicky. gotta have the second pocket blicky, man. And we see Kenshin get shot, but he actually blocks the bullet with the hilt of the gun, with the hilt of the sword.
That shit was so
Guns
hard.
don't have hilts.
That shit was so fucking hard, dude. Like, you see him pull out the blicky and fire, and all you see is Kenshin blow backwards. And Kihei is like, I fucking won. I did it. Like, we got our revenge. And then Kenshin just stands up, like, basically brushes himself off and is holding his sword. All you see is the hilt. Just breaks into two pieces and falls off. Like, that's fucking nuts. Like, I know we see it in anime all the time where, like, people block fucking, bullets with swords and stuff. But this anime is pretty well grounded, I feel like. In the sense of,
is.
I mean, he's the greatest swordsman of all time in this, but like, you're not cutting bullets in half and shit. And he had the awareness to see the trajectory of a bullet and stop it with the hilt of his sword. So that's fucking insane.
Yeah. Fucking sweet.
I was expecting him to cut the bullet in half. Not gonna lie. I think I've been watching too much One Piece though.
Maybe. But I can't blame you. For that.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, this anime is really well grounded compared to a lot of shonen style shows you watch. So, like, the aptitude it takes to actually do that is on such a higher level than we're used to,
That's true. Dude's in universe broken. But then shortly after, you got Kihei, he points the gun at Yahiko and Kaoru. Because he's like, well, they're not doing that. There's only one man on the planet right now that can do that. And Zanza actually ends up slicing Gohei's face off as he's about to attack those two that I just mentioned. And he's yelling and screaming, like, this is my fight. Do not fucking interrupt me. I already told you that one time, and I'm not telling you again. So he pretty much he sliced him across the nose and cheeks.
Well, I was gonna say you're under exaggerating what he did to Gohei. He took a sword the size of a horse and threw it at like 35, 40 miles an hour across this guy's bow.
There you go.
It cut under his eyes, like clean, like pretty deep looking too. I mean, like, if you're getting through the bridge of the nose and the eyes, that's a deep cut.
He pretty much cut his nose off. Yeah.
And he just threw a sword to do this. A sword that weighs this like as much as I do. And I'm not a little guy. That shit was insane.
Yeah, it was fucking nuts, man. And I like the little detail where Kenshin is busting up Kihei, the smaller brother, and like instead of just like knocking him out, he like pieces him up with a bunch of like hits that just hurt. And he's like, yeah, I didn't want to knock you out. I just wanted you to feel a little hell first. And like, you don't see that kind of edge from Kenshin a lot. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, man, when you see his eyes change like they did, like, you're getting some badass shit. Like, he's a goofy ass mother, like, fucker, Oro. But when he gets in battle mode, he is a fucking scary dude.
He's him. It's him.
I wish he would say Oro more when he was fighting.
Does not fit the alter ego of the Batosai we see with the sword.
Oro.
God bless
shit. I love that shit.
But yeah, so after they put those two, the Himura brothers, out of commission, Zanza starts spinning his Zambato and screaming, "I'm gonna beat the strongest imperialist. Fuck this bullshit." And Kenshin just cuts that shit in half.
I love seeing Kenshin flip his blade.
Yep.
Because like if you guys haven't figured it out yet, his sword has a dull front face to it, which you'd use in battle. But the back of that bitch is sharp as fuck. That is a well-honed sword.
Mm-hmm.
All he's gonna do is flip his hilt over, and he's got a real sword to fight with, and he chops through a sword that is like a foot wide and like 6 inches thick. Just nuts. Dude's a menace.
But Tosai is real, bro. Yeah, no, he's an absolute menace. They better be the streets better be glad that he's nice now, because it would not be good.
Oh, for sure, man.
But yeah, Kenshin kind of like realizes like, yo, this he's done. Like I beat this shit out of him already. But before that, actually, I want to. Dan, can you pronounce this? So after he cuts the Zambato in half, like he does like a cutting motion. He has a name for his move. What you got for us, Danny boy?
All right.
Yeah.
Hitsun Mitsurigi Ryutsusen, sorry.
Okay. I fucking with that. Okay.
Yeah.
I thought I was gonna catch him slipping. He took a moment. He called on his peoples for that, but okay.
I'm smiling way too much right now, thinking of the badass Batosa. I was like, I gotta get grounded right here, folks. that is like a half a page of words right there.
Yeah, no, for real. It takes up like half the line on my screen. But yeah, Zanza, is actually the first person to like not get knocked unconscious from that. But Kenshin knows, he's still standing, but he's really I've won. And Sansa's still talking his smack, and Kenshin kind of just punches him in the face and says, "Aren't you fighting the wrong person?" Because now he starts to understand who Sansa is. And Sansa's saying, the Imperials lied about the new era, and not only the Imperialists take care of the Imperialists. It's the Meiji government taking care of the Meiji. And Kaoru and Yahiko kind of come to his defense, and we know who Kenshin is at this point. And they just kind of talk about who Kenshin is. And one thing that Kenshin said that stuck out to me was, the people that need happiness the most are still trapped in the old times where the weak are oppressed. And he kind of tells him, like, I use my sword to fight for those kinds of people. And so we got to see that explanation. So they kind of came together a little bit, and Sansa ends up renouncing his name. And kind of admitting total defeat and falling on his back after getting his ass kicked. But this was like the hardest fight for Kenshin so far.
You can't be Zanza without the Zanpato, dude. Like,
facts.
You just Za at that point.
Big Za.
Big Za, baby.
Yeah, and then like I guess the next scene they're kind of like walking through Tokyo. And Kaoru is like, that guy's not going to be able to move for like 3 months. Like, you didn't really have to do all that. And Kenshin was like, yeah, he was too strong for me to actually go easy on. So like, y'all can chill with that. And then we see him moving around the next fucking day, beating people at the same hot pot place. Which I thought was fucking hilarious.
But then it was for fun now.
Oh yeah, wild. Now he's just doing it just to do it now. Yeah. I respect that. Man knows what he loves.
I think the best part is after he knocked those drunk they were like politician guys, right? Like,
yeah.
I think wasn't they the same people that was causing trouble last time?
Oh yeah, no, it was the same people. So they're walking to the hot pot restaurant all of a sudden, and Kenshin's like, "Oh, it's you guys again!" After they just got knocked the fuck through the door, and they panic and run away. And Sanosuke just walks to the door. He's like, "Oh hey," and like, "I thought you'd be like in a bed." And he's like, "No, I'm strong. I'm big strong." And all of a sudden, like, they all walk up to just poke him. And he's just gritting his teeth and burying it. Like, he should be on the ground, like, in that much pain. And it was hilarious. I love that scene.
Oro?
But
yeah, it was a pretty good episode. So I enjoyed it. I enjoyed the fight too. So
yeah. So our boy Sanosuke is like, yeah, he says he's no longer a fighter for hire, which is good. And I think he's had some respect for Kenshin now. But he was like, to know if I can I really trust you. It's like I'm probably gonna be shadowing you for a while, just so I can see who you are, really. Which good shit.
Shadowing,
Good fucking shit.
aka joining the fucking squad, baby.
We got one. We got a real one, boy.
Hell yeah.
So, did you guys check out the post credit scene?
I did. We got a big baddie coming finally.
What'd you think, Tyler?
Oh no.
Oh no.
Oh no.
Oh no.
Oro? God damn.
Oro?
We got a big baddie coming.
Oro?
Oro?
I may not have watched the post credit scene. So I'm gonna take y'all's words on it.
Oh, dude, it's
Oro?
like every time I watch Bleach, I go to I go to hit back and I'm like, wait, I can't yet.
I'm super bad about the Bleach when y'all notice I get real quiet when we bring that shit up.
Oh, dude, I was really sitting there on my phone and all of a sudden they started talking and I was like, oh shit, these guys might not have watched this.
Well, what on Bleach or this one, Kenshin?
On Kenshin.
Okay. Have they had post credits every time?
Nope.
Yeah,
They have.
Oh, I've just skipped everyone with this one, I guess.
God damn, boy.
And now we know.
Yeah, now I'll make a note.
Now we know.
Right. I'm gonna have to text y'all next week. Yeah, I need y'all to text me for Bleach though, so we'll be even.